In July 2022, the East African Community Heads of State in their 22nd Ordinary Meeting held in Arusha, Tanzania, resolved to deploy regional troops to eastern DRC following an escalation of war. Several armed groups were at war with especially DRC government forces, and this resulted in the killings and displacement of civilians. Thousands of Congolese refugees fled to Uganda for safety. The East African Community Regional Force would then be deployed to eastern DRC as one of the initiatives to de-escalate tensions. Kenya, Uganda, South Sudan and Burundi contributed troops. Uganda People's Defense Force was deployed in Rushuru territory in North Kivu province. However, DRC President Felix Tshisekedi would later accuse the regional force of cohabiting with the rebels instead of fighting them.
The region was supposed to be an interventionist force, not a fighting force. Intervention so that a ceasefire is imposed and a political process starts. But as you are aware, the political process never started off at all.
Kinshasa also declined to renew the mandate of the regional force beyond 8th December 2023. The regional leaders in their 23rd Ordinary Summit held in November in Arusha, Tanzania, agreed to withdraw the regional force before 7th January next year. Kenya and South Sudan were the first to recall their soldiers who had been deployed to eastern DRC, while the Burundi contingent left Goma on Sunday. The Ugandan troops are back home.
It started yesterday. By this morning, it should have all pulled out.
Meanwhile, tensions have re-escalated in eastern DRC and the armed groups have intensified their operations. Congolese who had returned home after last year's displacement have again started fleeing to Uganda for safety. What could have gone wrong this time?
In my view, the groups got encouraged because the ceasefire did not hold durably or permanently. And I would think the best thing to do is get out of the political thinking and deal with the reality on the ground. Appreciate that the conflicts in eastern DRC are not about resources per se, but there is also an identity conflict. Because now the concentration is on resources. Because of selfish issues, everybody is after resources. But there are people who are being segregated in that country. There are people who feel they are second-class citizens or not citizens at all. That's a fact we can't ignore. And we shall ignore it at our own peril as a region.
The South African Development Community Force is expected to replace the East African Community Regional Force, but it is still unclear when SADC force will start operating in eastern DRC. Daniel KIBET, NTV, Tonight.